this week's projects, because I'm on holiday this week, I want to do some sewing and I want to use some of my stash of quilting fabric. So I've got some beautiful patterns that I purchased from Rosie Caldwell. She's a Scottish business. I think she's based over near Aberdeen. So I bought some of her patterns, a hot water bottle cover, dare I say a Christmas stocking pattern, and also some toiletry bags. And I just thought that I would use some of my stash up and then see how it goes. But I did have a panel left over from my quilt, which I thought I could use for either my stocking, but it's too big. And obviously I can't cut it down because of the points. So I think I might see if it will fit on the back of the hot water bottle. I can only find, as I've just said that, I can only find my small scissors. I've just looked across and I can see my other scissors. So I'm going to sit here and cut these patterns out, and then I'm going to have a rummage in my drawers and see what fabric I can come up with. For the Christmas stocking, I plan on doing some patchwork and then just making it like that. So 2 outer, 2 wadding, 2 lining. It says optional, but let's do that. So with the patterns, I'm jumping about here, sorry. With the patterns, you get them as downloads. And then this is not an advert at all, but I heartily recommend the Fold Line. They're a company that you send the files off to online. I'll put the links below, and they actually print out your downloads. It's the really big size, so I'm thinking it's A0 or A1, and then you get them in a lovely envelope. They send them to you in the envelope, and they're just exceptional, absolutely exceptional. So I'm going to sit here and cut this out, have my cup of tea, listen to some relaxing music. Okay, so now I've actually cut out my patterns. So I've got my Christmas stocking and my hot water bottle. The panel doesn't fit. So what I've dug out of my drawer is, I tend to, in my top drawer, have these little plastic boxes. I'm not a fan of plastic, but I've had these for ages. And I've got a variety of, I don't even know how big these are. They're either, I think these are 3-inch squares of the merry little, if I do it like that and show you the colours. So it's an assortment of colours. So what I'm going to do is lay them on the table and do a big square of them. There's some more there. And I'm going to do that for the Christmas stocking. I've just got to make sure I've got enough for both sides, but I do have some other scraps of fabric. But the whole point is using the leftovers. For the hot water bottle cover, as much as I love Tilda, I have got some Moda. These are left over from a quilt I made. They're really cute. Very vintage. So I could use that for the hot water bottle cover. And then I have this scrappy. So I don't know if you can see from the side. These are just an assortment of squares in no particular order, which I think would be great fun to lay out. This is Tilda. This is one of my favourite fabrics from Tilda. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do my Merry Little Christmas, set it out on my table, see if I can get a front and a back for the stocking. And then what I'm thinking about doing with these strips is joining this. Some of these are bigger than the others. Let's have a look, sorry. Is joining them, joining the strips up and then cutting the squares out. I love doing projects like this. Just a little bit, you know, random. Look at this fabric. I absolutely love it. It really reminds me of Pride and Prejudice dresses. But anyway, I digress. Let's see how we get on. That's an inch, so 1.25 inches. I might be okay. I might not need that strip there, but we'll see how that goes. Sunday afternoon, and I have decided to spend the day in my craft room. So this is the panel that I was making up earlier on in the video, and I've just done quilting by stitching diagonally across the fabric using a cream cotton. I've got two panels, they're completely different. This one's very red and cream and green, and the other one is very scrappy. So the only thing I've got to be careful of is that I cut one stocking with the boot going that way and then the other stocking with the boot going the other way, because I have made that mistake in the past. So yeah, just a gentle afternoon of stitching while hubby watches the masters, and yeah. Today's task is all about blocking some jumpers. So if you're not a knitter, basically blocking is once you've finished a sweater, you soak it and then you block it out to the shape and size of the finished garment, and it just makes all the stitches look really, really regular. I've got two sweaters here. One is for, I've modified the neck. The neck on this beautiful Annie sweater that I knitted last year just didn't sit right, and I've unpicked it and knitted it on a smaller needle. So this is the Annie sweater. Absolutely love this. I love the arm detail. Norwegian lamb's wool, and I should have taken a picture before, but it had like a roll neck. So I've just made it more a boat neck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet it and then manipulate it into shape, so it's got that lovely shape and it sits nicely. And I didn't do any short rows on it, which means the back of it isn't higher. But anyway, I'm just going to block just the neckline on that. And then this is the sweater that I finished, which is my Ingle sweater. And I'm going to actually block that completely. It's going to go into a lovely wool wash bath. And then I'm going to put it on my blocking mats and over in the house and get it to dry. It is a little bit, it's a lot bigger than than I wanted it to be. Oh, I can't speak today. It's a lot bigger than I wanted it to be, but I think it's just going to be a lovely slouchy, sloppy Joe sweater. And I'm really glad it's off my needles. It was a lot of vanilla knitting and the colour. So very plain stocking stitch, but it's finished. So these two are going to be blocked today. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And I thought I'd take you with me while I do that. And then I want to do some sewing this week, and I've got some patterns that I want to cut out. Get some gloves on. It's only because I've just done my nails. So I'm just going to get this. There's still some ends hanging off, and I'm just going to soak it in this cold water. Oh, it's really filled the bowl up actually. So I'm just going to get another bowl. I don't want to get messy. Because this is pure wool, you don't want to agitate it. And then I'm just going to take the neckline of this. I don't want to do the whole sweater. I'm really happy with the size of the sweater. And I'm not going to soak this for 30 minutes. I just want to wet it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Highland Homemade Life, and I hope you join me next month where I will be sharing a bit more about what's going on in my garden, some of my basket weaving, and also I just want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you that watches, likes, comments, subscribes. It means the world to me. I will be doing monthly videos from now on, mainly because I'm going to be doing a few community markets, also known as farmers markets, during the summer with some Highland games. I'm going to put some footage in now of my recent community market, just to show you what it's like, and I hope you can join me next time. So take care, bye. Okay, so we're all set up. This is at the Witch's Kist. It's a new market in Brora. And then, so we've got fibre, selling some hand knit hats. And then got some samples. So yeah, loving this new stage of doing markets.